Hey friends, welcome to Mindful MX365. I'm Justin McBride, and this is the daily series where we consider quotes, concepts, and contradictions that can support us on our journey of experiencing life mindfully. Today's consideration is the concept of everything on my plate. Full disclosure on this concept, it's something that I've developed over the years and taken bits and pieces from different ideas and kind of merged them together into my own understanding of this metaphor. If you want to steal bits and pieces of this idea and use it in your own life and share it with others, go for it. As we take a look at this metaphor, this concept, let's consider what's on the plate and how it got there. Yes, the majority of the items I'm talking about here are things I've put on my own plate, willingly, unwillingly, maybe without realizing it. So I wasn't being intentional about what I put on there. Maybe I got carried away. Think of when you're at a buffet. You get super excited because there's all these different foods that you love to try, but there's only so much room on your plate. But you have that feeling of, well, it's all I can eat, right? So I need to put as much on here as I possibly can. I don't want to miss out. That fear of missing out leads us to putting a lot of stuff metaphorically on our plate. We feel like if we don't put it on our plate now, we're not going to have the opportunity in the future to enjoy it. So we just pile everything on. And then it gets to the point where there's no more room on our plate. So we just pile stuff on top of other stuff, on top of other stuff. And we don't even know what's at the bottom anymore. Or to get down there, the things that we first put on our plate, it takes a lot of work. The idea of everything on my plate that I've put there, I have the power to remove, is a powerful or empowering idea for me. Because I have a tendency, like many people I know who are creative, who are idea people, to put a lot on my plate. Understanding what's on my plate or the things that I have put on my plate is where I like to start with when figuring out what to do with everything on there. If I don't know what's on my plate consciously, then it just stays built up and I just freak out because I never want to address what's on my plate. So instead I get another plate and then the cycle starts all over again. And then we have this table full of plates and we don't know what to do. Awareness or mindfulness, which I look at as the non-judgmental awareness, is the opportunity to realize what's on my plate. Just to see what's there. Mindfulness to me isn't about touching anything on the plate. It's about being aware of the things that are on my plate. I don't necessarily need to be aware all at once. I don't need to look at the plate and have a full understanding in that moment. Sometimes that's possible. Sometimes it's not. We can do things like a daily or a weekly brain dump where we just get everything out of our brain or all the ideas that we have, all the things that we want to work on or implement or try out. Put them down on a piece of paper, type them out on your computer, pull up an app on your phone and just get it all out. Put it all out there in front of you. Now, it's not always that easy because in the moment when I go to do that, I find that I can't always think of those things. So as they do occur throughout my everyday life, I try to be aware of that and recognize like, oh, this is something that I put on my plate, but it's not the item that I'm eating right now. So I might be doing something else and it pops up into my head. That doesn't mean I need to take a bite of it. Just be aware of it, make a mental note, perhaps have a little checklist off to the side of your desk where you can write these things down. Just be aware of them. And then later on, you have the ability to address the things that you've put on your plate. And when you see everything that's there, then you can start to categorize and prioritize what is actually important to you in the moment to focus on. Maybe there's things that you haven't been focusing on that you would like to, or maybe they're more time sensitive. Whatever it may be, getting them out of your head or making a mental note in your head, if that works for you, of these different things that are bouncing around is the first place to start. At least for me, it's incredibly beneficial. Then once you have everything in front of you, you can really start to figure out where it's going to go. There are certain items on your plate that you may love so much but you're not ready to take off your plate, maybe you can put them in a Tupperware container, put them in the fridge. Maybe there's some things that are more appropriate to go in the freezer, right? They're going to be in there a little while. There are other ideas that may be fantastic ideas, but there's really no place for them in your life now or in the foreseeable future. Maybe those are ideas or tasks or things that you can delegate or share with other people who have the mental space, the resources, the ability to make them happen. Even if you're not the head of that project or that idea, sharing them with other people can sometimes be just as satisfying when you get to see that idea or that thing that you put on your plate turn into something that another individual or many others are enjoying or getting value from. Maybe I put it in the compost. There's a lot of ideas that we have that we don't want to throw away and there's nobody we can give them to, but maybe we can put them in the compost bin. Maybe we can break that down into bits and pieces, the components of that idea, and put that on a greater idea board or a sheet or whatever the tool happens to be for you. But for me, the tool is less relevant than the place that we start from, which is mindfulness, non-judgmental awareness. If we can start there, then we can figure out which tool is most appropriate for us in dealing with everything on our plate. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you got something out of today's episode. If you have something to offer up, maybe you have an idea for becoming more aware of all the things on your plate, or individual tools or tips, tricks that you use to deal with or approach all of the things on your plate, I'd love to hear about them. Head on over to mindfulx.net. This is our totally free community. It's free from advertisements also, where you can share these ideas, you can interact with other people, and just be intentional about experiencing life mindfully. If you like today's episode, also check out our MX365 channel on mindfulx.net. This is the place where all of our considerations go out each and every day. Some of them are videos, some are podcasts, and some are blogs. So if you're only watching the video, then you're probably missing out on 5 or 6 other considerations in the week. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this and other considerations. Again, I'm Justin McBride. I'm super appreciative that you stopped by today. And remember, mindfulness is only a few intentional breaths away.